Welcome, everybody, to the Genesis Mindset. And in this particular episode, I'm going to be talking about the Pulsechain alt season. So I think that we're entering into a Pulsechain alt season. This is based on under the assumption that Pulsechain has actually hit its local high. And as a result, I do believe now that some of those funds are going to start to cycle into some of the alts. And just like I'd shown in previous videos, I think the first round of alts is going to be the alts within the Atropa ecosystem. And so I'm going to just be showing a few charts and let's actually get into it. I'm also going to be talking about BFF, teddy bear, and pDAI. There has been a bit of a storm about pDAI today. Old boy Richard Hart, Dickie, he tweeted about DAI, and there was a actually we'll get into that a little later on. So first of all, just checking the latest that's going down in the whole of Pulsechain. I just love crypto. Like you can come here for a source of entertainment every day. Look at this. Wifey is paired with Trump. So Melania Trump is paired with Trump. Whoever makes this stuff up. Oh man, I love you. So Donald and Melania Trump. So I don't know what Wolf is. It's a new token. So that's done a 50,000%. That's quite impressive. Ass. This was funny. So this is KDP's ass, I think. So Teddy Bear Inu. Teddy Bear Inu has really yeah, that's really hit up the scene lately. And then also again, pDAI back in the top 20, Atropa back in the top 20. I do believe that this is the PUSDC and PUSDT, and also we've got Teddy Bear in there. Icosa still on a tear. So yeah, very interesting to see again some of these alts now, these core alts within the Atropa ecosystem starting to move. So first, I love this tweet by Generation Hex. I don't know if the innuendo was delivered or not, but the KDP, is it a pump or a dump? Are you going to add liquidity or hodl forever? Oh, so you can use your imagination. That's quite funny. So, okay, the Atropa ecosystem, poor old Atropa ecosystem. So the Atropa ecosystem is actually undergoing, it's been a few days of the assault of the Tangang on the Atropa ecosystem. It's like, it's like this, we're like this poor little third world country just trying to do our own thing. We're just having fun doing our own thing. And they're like America, just sticking their business where it doesn't belong and just really assaulting the Atropa country for really no apparent reason whatsoever. And I've seen some very interesting tweets. Some that I really, I'm really tempted to say something. But again, it's like, man, when you just really objectively observe the human mind and the kind of stuff that it comes up with, and how people don't actually realize what they say is actually a reflection of their own mind. So I saw a particular thing between Hronomics and somebody else, and just like every single basically Tangang tweet that I've seen, it's pretty much Tangang just all out war on the Atropa ecosystem again for no reason. It feels like high school, actually. I feel like I'm in high school. I was one of the nerds in high school. I used to get bullied a lot. I was in the nerd group, and some days you'd get like the jocks coming up and just like the high school bullies would just come and just give you crap for the day. And it's like, what the hell's going on here? Like, I'm just over here minding my own business, talking about Age of Empires 2 with my friends and Dragon Ball Z, just like, piss off, leave us alone. That's really what it feels like with the Tangang. Like, it's actually really getting quite annoying, to be honest. But still trying to take it with a good sense of humor. But it actually is really annoying, especially when you put your heart and soul into trying to build something and you see something that the other people don't actually see, and instead of them attempting to understand it, they're just assaulting it. So it really is quite a shame, to be honest. And it really is like, it's also got a kind of like inferiority vibe in a way, when you like, like little man syndrome, and they want that number one meme spot. And you know what, guys, if HOA gets it, fantastic. I've got some HOA as well. I hope it is going to be number one as well. But I've put my bet on Teddy Bear for a variety of different reasons. which I've outlined in a video. And who really cares? But these guys are really like, it's annoying because it's like, you know, people get defensive about like football teams, or they'll get defensive about like phone brands or clothing brands, or, you know, these sorts of things. And this is actually tied to people's like financial futures and financial freedom. And when you just go on, like, you set up a campaign to FUD other people's efforts without actually understanding it, it's actually really, I think it's immature. I think it's short-sighted. I think it's narrow-minded. I think it shows your mind. It shows your complete lack of understanding of the ecosystem. And again, I think, just like I said to Too Spooky in one of the tweet threads, we could have tens of thousands of posts between us, but until, one, either you research it for yourself and actually find out for yourself what's going on, or two, the results, one of the other, one of those two outcomes is going to do the talking. So either you research and find out for yourself, or the results will do the talking. The results scream the loudest. And I do believe the results will scream the loudest with the Atropa ecosystem. I have placed a lot of faith in this Atropa ecosystem. I could be completely wrong. It could all be an elaborate rug pull and I could be getting stooged. And if that's the case, it's probably like, well, I would probably honestly lose interest in cryptocurrency altogether. I must admit. Well, I'd lose interest in Pulsechain altogether. I'm not going to lie, because I would consider myself to be so completely and thoroughly wrong, and so poorly in judgment of something, that if I got it that wrong, it's like I don't deserve to be in cryptocurrency and understanding anything about cryptocurrency. I'd rather just stick to my Bitmobic and just go with the Koreans, because the Koreans are awesome. They're all on the same journey together. They're all working together for the same token. There's no competition. They're just working together. And I really like that vibe. This competitive vibe, man, is like, oh God, give me a break. I feel like I'm in bloody high school. It's so boring. It's like, let's grow up, please. But, you know, this is what they've chosen to do. So we just gotta keep playing in our sandpit and pretending like nothing is actually happening. But it is annoying, and I can actually see like the Atropa people getting really annoyed as well. So Pulsechain, the alt season. So what I'm actually really quite interested in with this alt season with Pulsechain, or I'm calling it an alt season, just in the same way that we have Bitcoin, where it does a big pump, and then after it does a big pump, it flows into Ethereum, and then after it flows into Ethereum, it flows into the alts. So what I'm thinking now is going to happen is we could start to see this dynamic play out within the Pulsechain altcoin ecosystem. And I do believe, I mean, it's going to filter through many things, but I've basically got my eyes focused on the Atropa ecosystem. And a lot of people come to me with like different tokens and things, and I certainly do appreciate that. But this ecosystem, as it is already like so much for my mind to actually like understand and learn as it is. So it's not that I don't want to look at the other things. It's just that, yeah, I mean, you probably see it in my eyes. I look stoned, but I'm wrecked. I'm so wrecked. Like the days are getting so long. So we saw a little pump on Atropa, but whether or not that pump is due to the fact that there's been a dip in PLS, because I've got it paired to PLS here, or if it's due to the fact that it actually started buying. But if you are a believer in this ecosystem, and if I had a lot of if I had spare Pulsechain, I would definitely be buying up these dips, because we're pretty much at the ultimate lows here. So it's actually a really, really good buy if you want to dip your toes into this ecosystem and start to learn what it's all about. Okay, so whoopsies, BFF. Oh, that chart. What happened here? Because I went to the daily. Righto. Well, let's go back to the 4 hour. Okay, so now I'm actually considering potentially, I was reading in the chat logs that yes, that the BFF is premature. Some of these liquidity pools are potentially premature. So I was actually thinking of pulling I've got a tiny little liquidity pool that I started, but I'm actually considering pulling like 95% of it and just leaving 5% in there, so I can still like maintain the ownership of that pool, or have some ownership in that pool, and then just take out. It's a very small amount that I have in there, but it might also make a difference, because it's really sort of struggling along these areas, but we're still going better than expected, according to Maria. So But obviously, again, the less liquidity that there are in pools, the quicker it can go up. It's around here that we want to start creating liquidity pools. And again, this is just the beginning phase. So if we go to, so the holder amount is actually increasing with the amount of holders is also on the rise with BFF. So the metrics are going up. The Telegram chat is going up on the daily. Okay, so let's zoom out of legal here, because Maria was basically saying that it's paired with what they did with legal. Okay, all right. So maybe we want to look at legal Atropa, possibly. Legal teddy bear, or maybe legal down. So this is something that I will be looking at in the future, seeing what it's actually paired with, maybe even possibly treasury bill, seeing what it's paired with. So before I get into legal as well, this one, OG Web Chef, he cooked up a storm. So he created this infinity token, which is basically like a reflections token that's going to give you reflections in no nukes and BFF. So if you're interested in BFF, then I would also recommend having a look at this. And this is, like I said, a reflections, and portion of the, I think a portion of the buy fee goes into like basically kind of like an automatic like buy function with his bot that he's created as well. So another interesting idea. So again, like there's just dudes here that are like trying to work on building. And it's I kind of, they're probably, these guys are just like, they're probably just focusing on the building, and I really envy that. But because I'm actually trying to like take stock of what's actually happening in the sentiment and the ecosystem, it's it's difficult not to get like demoralized with seeing some of these things. So okay, legal and down. No, legal and down's not what we really want to look at. Why was Maria talking about legal? So this is legal and treasury bill. I don't really know. So I'm going to have to investigate this, to be honest. So it has a similar setup to legal. I was expecting if it had a similar setup to legal, it would be like this sort of forever up kind of setup, but that's not what we've seen. So perhaps maybe on a, I absolutely really no idea. Have I missed something here? Any other massive pools? Legal PLS. That's really it, isn't it? Legal PLS, 4 months, 4 months old. Well, okay, legal teddy bear. Did I bring that legal teddy bear? I'll bring up legal teddy bear. That's the only other one. That's probably the closest one to it, as a matter of fact. Oh, here we go. Legal and this one. So 7 months old. 7 months old, legal down. And then I'll go to this one as well, 7 months old. So just trying to investigate what is the scenario with legal. Yeah. Again, I don't really get it, to be honest. Legal teddy bear. Okay. All right. So if anyone kind of knows, I'm going to have to do some digging on that one. If anyone knows what Maria might have meant. I mean, she was actually talking about it in terms of the liquidity, how they've created liquidity to stabilize the asset price against other assets. So it could already be shown there. Okay. So I think that's enough with BFF. And like I said, we have the infinity token. Now we're going to pDAI. So pDAI again is showing the same scenario as Atropa. So it's really very much a very similar chart. And so it had a little, 40%, not a little, that's a 40% pump today. And there was Richard Hart's tweet. And when I saw that tweet as well, I got excited when he was talking about DAI, USDC, USDT. But then somebody pointed out that he hid all the all the pDAI comments, so he faded all the pDAI comments. So who knows? But yeah, there's still the dedicated pDAI people who are still really excited about what's actually happening there, and they're still staying committed to the cause, and they're staying open to the cause. So again, the results will do the talking. So it'll be interesting to see where it can actually develop from here. So again, I've always just been someone who's like, okay, I'm not saying that it is going to go to $1. It would be amazing if it does, because I mean, how great is that for the whole entire chain if we have our own created token within our own ecosystem? And yes, there's Coast, there's I think, what is it, LUSD, we got liquid loans. Like, yes, there are stable coins that have been created, but they are, everything on Pulsechain is really just a fork of another idea. This Atropa ecosystem is a completely unique idea that's actually trying to create stable coins through this network of assets, and that's something that's never been done before. So if we can actually achieve that on this ecosystem, that is a massive plus for the whole of Pulsechain. That's what I'm interested in. Again, getting the eyeballs to Pulsechain and like proving to the world that this ecosystem can, because of the caliber of the people within it, is attracting other people of similar character who are interested in actually building and creating on this ecosystem. And I think it's a good thing. I mean, just from reading the chat logs, I don't think Maria is the type of character that would be deterred by like the negativity, and she's not on social media. So, but I certainly find it, it's a bit of a downer, to be honest, not gonna lie. That's also because I'm probably feeling like extremely tired. So, okay, Teddy Bear, same thing. So Teddy Bear, so that's to the USD, even to PLSX. So it's actually, I showed it to PLSX the other day. I don't know if I showed it in a video, but to the all-time high. I might even do that. So to the all-time high. So what do we got here? So you've got a 7x to the all-time high for WPLS. So it's obviously like, because PLS has been so strong against it, but even better, PLSX. And again, this is just using, this is the kind of way that I want to think about it. So if I go to PLSX Teddy Bear, I want to think about it like taking the trade, getting my initial back plus some, and then I've got some skin in this particular game. So this is an 11x. Well, at the moment, it's less than, just under, oh yeah, it's about an 11. Oh yeah, just under 11, an 11x, so 910%. So like a 10x with your PLSX. So you could say, all right, I'm going to put 1 million PLSX in here, gets to the all-time high, and you can take out your initial plus sum. You could take out 30%. So you take 3,333,333, and then you've got 6,666,666 in the Teddy Bear ecosystem, PLX worth in the Teddy Bear ecosystem. So you've actually like spread out into the ecosystem. I think that is a really interesting way of playing it. That's how I'm trying to play the Atropa ecosystem at the moment. So that's my thesis at the moment, that what I see in Pulsechain is Pulsechain goes up and then it pumps it's like the Bitcoin, it goes up, or even really the Ethereum, it goes up, then it'll distribute out into the rest of the ecosystem. So this is kind of my hope. This is my thesis. That's what's going to happen. So then seeing all these other things pump, and then maybe they'll get to a point where Atropa pumps, and then it'll start going into some of these other altcoins on the ecosystem as well. As I showed in a previous video, it really moved. The liquidity moved from this to this to this. It went like this. It really just kind of moved from each different token. So it could end up doing the same. So I'll be observing that and monitoring that, because especially if it ends up following the same patterns as what it did the first time around after the first Pulsechain pump, and it does it again for the second pump, then we've got a whole year left, a whole year and a half left of a bull market. I'll definitely be making some of those moves, and I will keep accumulating all of these tokens, so I can actually, one, participate in the ecosystem and help it grow and establish, and build up my Pulsechain bag. So yeah, that's it. So if you're interested, again, the Telegram, Atropa Telegram, BFF Telegram, there's pDAI Telegram. I might even leave the links in the description. So if you are interested in those, and spread these videos out. And I think I'm getting to the point now as well where I want to start actually talking to people within the ecosystem. So I know I have spoken to, for example, Almighty Hexagon about doing a stream together. Zach, Hodlnomics, I haven't spoken to, but I would love to speak to Hodlnomics on a stream. and really start discussing these things. I was also mentioning to Lit, My Life is Awesome, that he can come on to my show, and I'll explain the Atropa ecosystem to him, because he was actually trying to figure out an idea of like what can actually pump Pulsechain. And I believe that this ecosystem can be the thing that pumps Pulsechain. And boy, are people going to be really, well, yeah, humans never liked, the human mind doesn't like to admit that it's wrong. So there probably is going to be people that will be humbled. And there's also going to be people that are going to be extremely happy. They're going to be extremely happy, and they're just going to pretend like they never said anything. And they're going to be so grateful that there's this ecosystem of tokens that's propping up the whole entire blockchain. And I think that would be the ultimate scenario. And if, anyway, thanks very much, everyone. Take care.